Back to the highlights and match reaction show here live on the Football Terrace. We are, of course, sponsored by Topps Kick 23, the official digital collectible app for the UEFA Champions League. Firstly, scan the QR code on the screen or click in the link in the description below to get the app downloaded. And I have to say, it is the best fantasy football game I've ever played. Not only can users trade their cards with others, you can also craft, create, and upgrade the existing cards you already own. The rarer the cards, the more points you win during Champions League games. Now, I want to see if I can set you all a challenge. I smash KJ on this every single week. The question is, are you up to the challenge and can you beat me? If you think you can, get the app downloaded right now by scanning on that QR code or clicking on the link in the description. As I say, best fantasy football game on the planet. And we're live with Topps Kick 23 between now and the Champions League final. Enjoy the rest of the video and we'll speak to you soon. A big win for Manchester City tonight, the deserved winners. It was a very close first half, a huge mistake from Tomiyasu, a rightful penalty given to Arsenal for a foul on Eddie Nketiah, which Saka put away. But in the second half, the nerves crept in. Man City's superiority shone and the better team won the game. Both sides had opportunities. Both sides could have scored more goals, but it was City that capitalized upon the opportunities presented to them, and you can't take nothing away from them. Arsenal have had a lot of support this year. Arsenal have been brilliant this year, but this poor run of form, a big mistake from Tomiyasu. Gabriel with another bozo moment this season, and just not the clinical edge. Eddie Nketiah, gilt-edged chance with his head, misses. Another ball crossed in by Tomiyasu. He goes with his right foot instead of his left foot. The left foot would have given him those inches that were needed. Xhaka with a great opening, but he sort of fluffs his lines and almost trips over the ball and gets tackled. It wasn't to be Arsenal's night. It's Man City's, and they go top of the league. And a lot of Arsenal fans are devastated, not just for losing the game, but what does this mean momentum-wise? Arsenal have been a scary team this year. Teams have been fearful of playing them, and I believe they had a psychological edge over City. They were the better team tonight for large parts against Manchester City. But for me, in the end, I don't even think tonight was about Thomas Partey not being there. Jorginho had a very good game, especially in that first half. 2 defensive mistakes. Would that have been any different if Thomas Partey was on the field of play? Maybe, maybe not. I want to get your thoughts and feelings on that. Tonight, I think what hurt Arsenal was not taking their chances, not punishing Manchester City when they had the opportunity to. Guardiola made some changes, went to 4 at the back in the second half as well. There wasn't a quick enough response tactically from Mikel Arteta. I think he left the likes of Martinelli on the field far too long. Far too long, in my opinion. But it's a big defeat for Arsenal. A big defeat for Arsenal, especially the scoreline as well, 3-1. To have 3 smash past you at home is very bad indeed. That's 4 games with no victory, 3 with no victory in the Premier League. And they have a tough away game against Arsenal coming up next. And I want to know what you think. This is not about excuses for Arsenal tonight, because I don't think there are excuses. I don't believe Thomas Partey being missing was the reason they lost 3-1. I don't think they were run through for large parts of the game. I don't think they were dominated for large parts of the game. City, of course, had their moments where they were the better team, but so did Arsenal. The difference between the two sides tonight was City took their opportunities. Even, I'm going to call him Jack Grealish tonight out of respect, even Jack Grealish, when he had the opportunity, he put it away. Eddie Nketiah didn't. Tomiyasu didn't. Too many Arsenal players fluffed their lines tonight, and that isn't good enough in a title race, especially when you've been on a bad run. I thought they would turn it round. They didn't. That means I'm wrong, and I'll take that on the chin. Also reacting to the Chelsea game. There's 15 minutes left in that tonight. They're losing 1-0 to Borussia Dortmund, courtesy of, I don't know who scored now. I had his name in front of me a moment ago. I've got him in my fantasy team on Topps, by the way. They are our title sponsors tonight, so make sure you get Topps downloaded right now. You can use the link in the live chat or description below, or scan that QR code that's just below my finger there. The best digital collectibles on planet Earth. We all play Top Trumps as a kid. We all play with Topps cards. This is the digital version. Get it downloaded for free right now and keep supporting the terrace. Adeyemi, that's the one. There we go. Yeah, I knew it was. It eluded my head. Yes, it was Adeyemi. It's a great goal. Very good goal from him. Very, very good. It's been a really good game, actually, the Chelsea Dortmund game. It's absolutely a travesty. It's criminality to have a Champions League game involving an English club and a big Premier League game on the same night. It's ridiculous. It really, really is. I want to take a look at some of your comments here. Thank you to CJ for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace tonight. That means a great deal to us that you have done that. So thank you very, very much indeed. I'm going to keep going through your comments here. Of course, our member chats and super chats will always take the priority. Terry, try changing the topic. No, we are covering both teams. They're both on the screen below us. I want to say this. Listen, I'm going to congratulate City, first of all, before we talk about Arsenal. City deserved the victory tonight. When you take your chances, they delivered. They were up against it. There was big pressure upon them. And I did think after the first 45 minutes, they're so gettable, City. Arsenal were opening them up. They weren't making it easy, but it was like 61% possession to Arsenal. They had all the chances. They had all the play. They were dominant. City literally had one chance that came from a bad Tomiyasu mistake. In the second half, it changed. And in the second half, when City really went for it, when City kind of, if you put this in fighting terms, they just started haymaking and throwing punch after punch after punch after punch. And Arsenal collapsed. They were giving the ball away so sloppily at the back, especially Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko as well. And there was a time when Zinchenko nearly played the ball to a City player in his own box. I mean, maybe for a second he forgot what team he was playing for. Maybe it left his mind. I don't know. But I'm telling you this now. City deserve this without a shadow of a doubt. Will they now go to another level and go on a great run and overtake Arsenal properly? They're ahead of them now, but Arsenal have that game in hand. They have to overtake them. They have to ensure that they basically need to win more games between now and the end of the season than Arsenal. Arsenal, so I was watching a free kick here from Chelsea. Arsenal still have that advantage, but can the Gooners bounce back? Will Man City maintain this run of form in the last two games? I want your thoughts and I want your opinions. Honesty here says Odegaard was a ghost tonight, is what he's had to say here. Terry, I honestly think that's it. City have won the league now, not us. Are Arsenal fans going to give up that easy? If Arteta comes out tonight and says there's no way we can win the league now, would Arsenal fans accept that and be happy with it? Maybe. Maybe the idea of accepting defeat now will feel better if you don't win it in the end, rather than pushing out the narrative of, I think we can still win this. I think that, ball cleared off the line by Dortmund. I think that Arsenal still have a chance of winning this. They've still got the advantage. It's still in their hands. They've just got to start winning football matches again. It's as simple and it's as straightforward as that. Free Citizen says, but I thought Zinchenko and Jesus were some of City's best players. Well, I don't necessarily think that Jesus weren't playing today. Am I going to apologize to Gary Neville? No. I have no issue with Gary Neville thinking Man City are winning the league. What I have an issue with is Gary Neville downplaying and being very underhand with the way in which he compliments Arsenal. It'll be, yeah, they're really good, but negative. I didn't like that. I thought it was wrong. And Arsenal still are a brilliant and dangerous team that if they win their game in hand, go back top of the league. Let us not forget that. I told you, Terry, City will be champions. They're not champions tonight, though. They're not champions tonight. Maybe soon, but not tonight. I like the fact that we are playing high up the pitch. I think you mean it helps Haaland a lot for the balls in behind, and Jack Grealish turns up in big games. Haaland scores away. Well, it's also Haaland's first away goal in a game against a fellow top six opponent, and that's massive for him and his confidence. You're absolutely right about that one. You going to apologize to Gary Neville now or later? I'm not going to apologize. I didn't say Gary Neville was wrong for thinking City would win the league. I think he was wrong to completely write Arsenal off. I think even it's wrong now to say Arsenal's form this season has been a complete mirage, a fugazi. They didn't deserve credit. It was about giving credit where credit's due. They're on a bad run. They can still turn it around, though. If they don't, they don't. If they choke, they choke. That's not on me. But go back and watch all those videos. It was never about saying City could win the league. It was about absolutely disregarding Arsenal with no kind of nuance to it. That was what my issue was. Go back and watch. I know you obviously heard it differently because you don't like Arsenal, but that's not my fault that you didn't listen to what I said properly, my friend. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. It is proper lies. Prime, you know it is proper lies. That's literally not what I've said. What I have stated all along is that Arsenal needs to be given more credit. I think it's ridiculous to just say 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, City will definitely come back. They'll definitely win the league. They'll win it at a canter. Forget Arsenal. They won't do anything. That for me is what the nonsense would have been. Let's be honest, it was 3-0, Terry. Well, no, definitely 3-1. Well, yeah, no penalties don't count by some fans, but yeah, definitely 3-1. Arsenal have reached upon a star and have been found wanting. Boys against men, Terry. Boys against men is what Baz has got to say. Thank you to Opa of Dragons for the super chat. You didn't say anything, but thank you very much indeed. That's it. Arsenal are done now in the title race, top 4 for them. So, Ray, you don't think in any way, shape, or form, Arsenal can come back from this? I want to get your take on that, my friend. I want to know what you think and what you feel. I'm asking questions here. That's my job. They said they were not scared of City with a full team. Listen, Jerome, it's a fair point. I don't think Arsenal were scared for 45, 50 minutes. In the second half, they started getting nervous. They started getting really, really nervous. And there was footage on one of the attacks of one of the Arsenal fans, guy he stood up, and you can see him biting his nails. And that's the one thing that I think is creeping into the Arsenal fan base is doubt. And when the Arsenal fans start to doubt, the support is different. Tension builds up. The fans need to stay positive. It's hard though when I read a stat today that Arsenal have not finished within 10 points I've only finished within 10 points of the title winners 3 times since 2004. It's a hard thing for the fans to get their head around. No, Terry, the reason why they lost is because their super fan base who hyped themselves on pride abandoned and waved the white flag before it started. Well, I will say a lot of Arsenal fans said we'll lose tonight and the season's over as far as winning the league is concerned. And I do think that was an atrocious attitude to put out there before the game, personally. And I still don't think you write Arsenal off right now. I've been watching the football far too long. There's been many trials, many tribulations, many ups and downs. To say it's done now and there's no way Arsenal can come back, I don't think is necessarily true. I hope you have a towel ready to dry Jess's tears. No, I'm sleeping in my office tonight. That's what I'm doing. 110%. Let's have a little look at some more of these comments here. The mistake cost us. City looked like they smelt blood, and we didn't go out without a fight. J20 played well. Saka was good. We must shake this off. You have to shake it off. I thought Jorginho did well in the middle. I thought Xhaka had a good first half, poor in distribution in the second. Saka did well tonight, but not enough from him, barring his penalty. But Martinelli's a problem right now for Arsenal. He's not performing. He's not delivering. And he's staying on the pitch too long. Trossard should have maybe started this game and definitely should have come on a little bit earlier, in my opinion. There are definitely some issues that Arteta has got to address. Banter FC, look at your top 6 teams. Trossard needs to be false 9 to get that spark again. We are missing the forward flexibility that Jesus gave us. Listen, Jesus being out, this is the question that I asked a few weeks ago. And in the short term, Nketiah was proving people wrong. He was scoring goals and doing well. The question is, can he do it for 3 months? The answer is no, as it stands right now. And there's nobody else. They are missing Gabriel Jesus massively. There is no one else that can come onto that pitch that is anywhere near his level of overall quality. Nketiah, you could probably argue, is a better finisher, better one-on-one finisher than him, but he's not a better football player. And for a short period of time, the adrenaline and maybe the doubt got him through. Now, Nketiah is leveling out. He's leveling out. Since that Man United game, he's absolutely leveling out in terms of his performances in games because he hasn't had a good performance now. Chelsea nearly get through and score again. They've got a chance here. Ziyech, well blocked. They're knocking on the door, Chelsea, here. Sorry, I'm kind of like covering that at the same time as talking to you. But yes, there we go. We're going to bring the panel out soon. Don't you worry about that, my people. They are coming. Let's be honest. Personal mistakes lost us this game. Heartbreaking. Nketiah isn't the one for the long run. Get up, go on. Nketiah is a good backup. Nketiah is a good backup. He is never going to be good enough to lead the line for 38 games a season for Arsenal. You can just see that. He's a good player, but he's never going to be able to start every game and lead that line for Arsenal Football Club, in my humble opinion. City's game look easier for the rest of the season. Yeah, look, City's games do look favourable. However, it wasn't as though Arsenal weren't getting at them in the first half. I'm still not convinced that City are just going to win their next 11, 12, 13 games on the bounce. Personally, I'm not convinced by them this season of doing that. They were excellent tonight. They deserved their win. But I'm judging them based on this season. Are they the favourites in many people's eyes? Yes, but as long as Arsenal win that game in hand, there is a 3-point gap. The biggest thing for Arsenal now is what they do against Villa. They have to beat Villa. That is must win. They don't win that game, then it starts to become a little bit precarious. Rio touched on this on 5. The mentality of their room is probably lacking. I think experience is required for teams to be great in any sport. It's all about who lifts the team up. They need to learn how to respond. Well, they need to learn how to respond from this because it's a big defeat tonight for Arsenal. I think you're absolutely right there, Baz. I think you're absolutely right. It's a huge defeat. It will be demoralizing for many of them. I've seen a lot of fans online throwing in the towel. That's it. It's over. It's over. It's over. Um, I, my personal thoughts are you throw in the towel now as fans, the team will definitely collapse. But if the team collapses too much and can't reignite itself, you don't want to start dropping down to third. You've got the right amount of pressure has got to be put upon this team. Support coupled with pressure. You've got to get the balance right here. The Arsenal fans have got to demand a response and standards here. It can't just be, it's okay, you're young. It doesn't matter. It has to matter. This is what arrogance gets you. Egal was pumping his chest with Arsenal fans crowning themselves in February. The downfall has begun. Let's enjoy. Is what. Listen, Arsenal fans are allowed to think they're going to win the league. So I'll defend Egal here because he said similar to me. I think I predicted Arsenal to win the league. That isn't saying they are champions now. Of course, that comes with a prerequisite, and everyone with a brain knows that means they've got to keep playing hard. That means they've got to keep winning. That means they've got to maintain their concentration. The fans have got to remain positive and with them. Those things change, then you change your opinion. It was an opinion that Egal had that he thinks Arsenal are going to go on and win the league from here. It's just an opinion, you know? It's just an opinion. Like City are not champions today. To say it, in my opinion, is disrespectful to the sport. Nketiah is not good enough. It's over, is what Mondu's got to say here. Thierry, aggressive. Ian Wright, even more aggressive. Eddie is nice to lead an Arsenal lineup. Lee Gunner will be after Xhaka, Trossard on Suna for Martinelli. Yeah, I'm sure Lee Gunner is ecstatic tonight. Something is still wrong at City. Pep keeps tinkering with the back four. They won today, but still look shaky. They do look shaky, Israel. And I think for me, from my standpoint, when I watch City, they're nowhere near their brilliant best. They're still able to win a lot of games because they've got so much star quality. How have Chelsea not scored in this game? I have no idea. They've got a lot of star quality, but I still don't think it's a foregone conclusion for the remainder of the season. Let's go to some more of these super chats that have come in here. First one says, no, Terry, the reason why they lost is because... Oh, sorry, I've already done this one. Terry, you're my guy, but bro, today was a humbler reality check for Arsenal. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I think reality check may not be the right word. I think they've got to get out of this rut, and I think they have to look at... I want to see if Arsenal fans criticize the problems and the mistakes today. Martinelli not coming off as a substitute. Gabriel making mistakes at the back again. You know, I want to see what Arsenal fans have got to say as to, because what we're not seeing, all we're seeing so far is bottled it, and that's too much of a broad phrase. I want to see if Arsenal fans will come out and criticize their team in the right way, or whether or not some Arsenal fans are all going to club together online and go, no, let's just be overly positive and pretend like the referees are out to get us. I'm just making that up. I want to, because that's what gets you through. Arsenal fans can't put seeds of doubt and excuses into the players' minds. They have to stand up. I told you, Terry, Arsenal will be champions. City will be champions. They may very well be. This comment here says, are you going to apologize? No, I'm not apologizing to Gary Neville. I've told you all why already. Nketiah had 2 open headers. Can't wait until Jesus comes back. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I do agree with you. He missed sitters today. Edison has got to go. Oh, yeah, he ain't that great. I was a fight in the Chelsea game here on the sidelines. I'm covering 2 games at once here. Your defense is in trouble. Nketiah is invisible, is what Priest has got to say here. Yeah, a lot of people agree with that. Terry, are you having people on because I would like to discuss the game with you? I think there is plenty to say about this game. Yeah, we will share that link with you all in the live comment section, so you can come on and have your say. Terry, isn't it happening every year isn't this what happens every year when they get knocked out of a cup early in this year? Happening again. That's why City will win the title, is what Dave believes here. It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Arsenal were playing not to lose rather than to win, is what Tiger believes. I can see why you'd think that. I can see why you'd think that. Tottenham beat Man City, but Arsenal can't, is what Sal D has got to say. The difference between the two teams on the day, one took their chances, the other one didn't. And that's what this comes down to, taking your chances. Now, I just want to say to everybody, as we build to the end of the Chelsea game, then I'm bringing the boys out. Please hit the like and the share buttons for us, but also please subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. But download the Tops Kick 23 app. The link's in the description, or scan that QR code now. Our title sponsors. I actually want to see how my team's doing today. I've not had a great week in the Fantasy League. I'm not going to lie to you. Not too bad. 241 points, but I'm 668 ranked today. Very poor from me. Very, very, very poor from me. Not happy about that. Blue Viper here says the defense is City are a better team. I don't know what you mean. Say that again for me in a different way so I maybe understand. A2 here says Arsenal proving once again they famously don't have the backbone or mentality to deal with the big boys' title race pressure. Is that what people think this is? And this is where I do want to gauge your opinions. Is this, in your opinion, Arsenal not coping with the title race pressure? Or is this just a bad run? City have had their bad games. City have had their games where they've been defeated. What do you put this down to? I really do want to take, want to get your views, want to get your opinions on this, please, people. I really want to understand what you agree with in terms of what A2 has said. So give us a buzz now. Give us a call or give us a comment. I want to know. A lot of people saying yes. DR says both. That makes sense. Terry in the mud. Yeah, not really. Not for predictions, bro. I don't feel in the mud. Do you know why I don't feel in the mud? It ain't my team. Like, everything I've said about Arsenal this year, I've meant. And I still believe they can win the league. I still think they can find it. But it's a great result tonight for Man United. I'm not going to lie. It's a great result for Man United. I don't feel in the mud at all. Terry, what did I tell you about Arsenal in February is what Oral Campbell says. Yeah, you did. You did predict they wouldn't win very many games in February. Wes Rowe, thank you for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace tonight. Thank you very, very much indeed. Arsenal fans' negativity is a result of how crap the rest of the top 6 teams are right now, and they are after us. You wanted to have chess, yet now you go after us. I don't know what you mean by that. Who's going after you? Oh, you think me? I'm not going after Arsenal fans. I'm not talking about, when I talk Arsenal fans, I'm talking outside the Football Terrace community. So if you watch the Football Terrace, you'll know who I'm talking about. I'm just saying, just through someone who's been an athlete, someone who's competed at a high level, someone who, had been to world championships, European championships, understands, someone who's got family members that have been professional footballers at the highest level of the game. Now, my cousin knocked Chelsea out the UEFA Cup. That's what I'm saying, right? And footballers like criticism. They like to hear the truth. If you sugarcoat everything and always make an excuse, you create excuses and you plant a seed that means it's okay to lose. Equally, you don't want to be nasty and horrible and damage their confidence. There's a balance between the two things. And social media has kind of lost that. Social media has lost it, where it's either you rant and you're horrible or you don't criticize at all. And I think both of those things are detrimental to your football club. Arsenal need to talk about Xhaka need an upgrade, is what's said here. This was a gateway moment that they've messed up. Yeah, listen, it was a massive moment tonight for Arsenal. When they were at 1-1 at halftime, oh my God, what a save. Oh my God, Enzo Fernandez with a great shot. What a save. I can't believe the goalkeeper's just kept that out. I honestly can't believe he's just kept that out. I really, really can't. That was sensational. United are winning this league. Clip it. Yeah, look, I wouldn't go that far, bruv. I wouldn't go that far. And that's full time in the Chelsea game now as well. Chelsea beat away at Dortmund 1-0. Panel's going to come out really, really soon to have their say on the terrace. I want to know what they're all thinking and what they're all feeling after the poor result for them tonight. This says, shouldn't read too much into it. Quality of this game levels above bad Chelsea. Thanks the football gods for an exciting end to the season. Haaland, beast, is what Harold has got to say here. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I hear you. I do hear you on that. Let me just update a few of my titles here. Another super chat's come through. My fat birds are crying. Please squeeze them, Terry. I'm very sorry about your big pigeons. I mean, top six fans say Arsenal fans should believe, and now we lose, and they say we bottled it. Top six teams look at your clubs. Yeah, listen, look, everyone's been waiting all year to have a go at Arsenal. These last three games have been what everyone's been waiting since August to do. So people are going to fill their boots. They're going to have a good time. They're going to enjoy laughing at Arsenal. That's what they're going to do. They're going to enjoy laughing at Arsenal. They're going to enjoy the banter. They're going to come for people like me, and Rory Jennings, who have said they could win the league or they would win the league or predicted it. But the irony in it is this, like, Arsenal was still, this is what you've got to not lose sight of, is the improvements at Arsenal. If you don't become the finished article this season, remember people like Lee Gunner. I'll support Arteta if we're in the title race. They're second right now, but they've got a game in hand to go 3 points in top. Throwing your toys out the pram now and going right in the season off, I think is crazy. This is the game we needed to concentrate in defense, and we didn't. 3 mistakes too many at this level of competition. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Brian. Like, you can't be making that many mistakes. Was it a penalty? Referees doing everything they can do to help Arsenal. What I would say about the penalty is this. I think I want to make sure I say this in the right way. These never get given, but they should. Does that make sense? They're very rarely given these penalties, but they should be given. Eddie gets to the ball first. The goalkeeper doesn't touch the ball, and then the goalkeeper clears him out. For me, that's a stonewall penalty. However, they're very rarely given. There's normally different rules that apply to goalkeepers, and I've never really understood the rationale behind that. But for me, the goalie comes out and doesn't win the ball and then smashes into a player, you have to give a penalty. You absolutely have to give a penalty at that moment. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. Absolutely no doubt about it whatsoever. There we go. Obviously, we're reacting to Chelsea versus Dortmund as well today. Benfica won 2-0 at Club Brugge. Sensational Champions League season they're having. And listen, Club Brugge are probably the easiest team remaining in the tournament, but great news for them. They've given themselves a great opportunity to go through to the quarterfinals. Chelsea will go into the game in Stamford Bridge in 3 weeks' time, 1 goal behind, but they had their opportunities tonight, Chelsea. They had their opportunity. Again, I have to say, the last half an hour I was live streaming, so I want to hear more from Chelsea fans on this. But Chelsea legitimately, like, again tonight, they could have beaten Dortmund. 21 attempts on goal they had away from home. They just need to find it. They just need to find their finishing touch. They need to find that finishing touch, Chelsea, and they'd won tonight, in my opinion. In my opinion. Make sure like buttons are being hit. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace panel coming out very soon. We've got Bradnan. We've got Egal. I don't know where the rest of the panel are. I'm going to message the Football Terrace group again now and see where they're all at. Lee Gunny, you scumbag. You son of a gun, Lee. Right, I'm just going to reshare this link again now in the group chat so I see where people are at, because I want to hear from David really as well about his Dortmund team tonight. There we go. Egal, when his camera comes back on, I'm going to bring the panel out to have this. So I just want to know that everyone's ready to come on. One sec. Let's have a little look here through some more of these comments. I think C came in with a super chat here. C says Dortmund had some strong voodoo going on there to keep the ball out of their net. We were super unlucky. Should have been 3 or 4 goals for Chelsea. I love the fight and the togetherness of the team. We've got them at the bridge. I think if both teams perform to the same levels at the bridge, I think Chelsea will win. I think Chelsea fans will be proud of tonight. I think Chelsea fans will be proud of tonight. Annoyed they didn't win and annoyed they've lost, but performance-wise, there'll be an element of pride. And it's only half time. That's what people always have to remember about these games. It's only half time. So you always have to remember that when it comes to reviewing these games and these situations. But they weren't bad tonight against Chelsea. This here says difference it was in quality at the front and the back. And Nketiah missed 2 chances and Gabriel and Tommy making mistakes. Listen, I think it did come down to that. I mean, if you look at if you watch it with your eyes, you saw this. If you even just look at it statistically tonight, let's just break it down and see what it came to. 10 shots to 9. 63% of the ball was with Arsenal. more passes completed by Arsenal. They dominated the possession. The difference was Eddie misses sitters. Haaland and Jack Grealish take their chances. And 2 of the City goals came from catastrophic, in my opinion, I wouldn't say unforced errors, but needless errors. Tomiyasu, clear your lines and boot the ball out. Same as Gabriel, clear your line or go back to the goalkeeper. Really poor mistakes cost Arsenal tonight. They weren't outplayed. They weren't outclassed. They got scoreline, they got smashed. But they weren't battered as a team tonight, Arsenal, in my opinion. Let's have a little look here. Honestly, the rebuild is yet to be complete. If Arsenal don't win the league, so what? We just need more reinforcements to improve, is what Jason has got to say here. People agree with Jason. I want to know what Jason thinks of it. It doesn't matter if they don't win the league. We'll be fine at the bridge. This Dortmund team haven't had the smoke much better in the second half. Potter coached a 4-0 game. We just couldn't convert. I agree. The manager did his job tonight. He did his job tonight. Dortmund so fluky, smashing them at the bridge is what Dyke has got to say here. Dyke's very confident about a big win. We just need Jesus back. Our mentality today was weak. We were afraid of City. Please, God, bring him back soon, is what AA has got to say. Positive, but how is Zinchenko playing 90 minutes? I don't know. We're going to get the Chelsea fans to answer that one for you. Terry, are you on drugs? Arsenal were battered. But they weren't, though. Arsenal had the majority of the ball. They had more chances. They completed more passes. It was a very even game, barring the fact that City took their chances, Arsenal didn't. So they smashed 3 goals past them. But in terms of battered, when I think of battered, I mean where you're completely outclassed. And I don't think Arsenal are completely outclassed in terms of the play today. I don't. But they were comprehensively beaten. There's a difference. There's a subtle difference. And for me, when it comes to football and understanding football, you're not. So we can say, okay, I'll change my language for you. They were smashed and battered, scoreline, but they weren't dominated. So maybe I need to get the wording right. I think we're arguing over semantics here rather than what actually happened in the game. They weren't dominated, is what I would say then. Let me change that. Maybe that makes a little bit more sense. There we go. X is absolutely cooking you on his channel. That's good. That's fine. He's a Tottenham fan. That's all he's got. That's all he's got. 1 win in the last 9 games. Potter needs to be sacked, is what the maths debater has got to say here. All right, peeps, I'm going to bring out a panel and add some more callers to it. I'm going to see Egal's camera come back on and go for it from there. Do me a big favor and smash the like and the share button, people. This is the history of the Arsenal. Where's Egal gone? Where's Egal at? I need him to come back. David's ready as well now, so I'm going to bring them all out in a few moments. David, sit up, please, young man. Someone says baited. Oh, look, I'm not really baited. I didn't check what was going on, but it is what it is. Terry, you remember when we lost to Juve 1-0, where we were dominated chances, but Chiesa scored? You know what happened at the bridge. Same thing against Bayern, Borussia Dortmund. Yes, it very well could be. Right, it's panel time, people. Hit the like and the share button. Subscribe to the Terrace. But make sure you're downloading Kicks. I might even stop until you guys start scanning the code, actually. I might just stop the stream. Be like, right, get it downloaded now. Get it scanned. And then maybe we continue. How about that? Now, listen, let's bring the panel out now to have their say. Let's do it. Welcome to the show. We've got Jason and a few others backstage we'll bring on soon. Brandon, I'm going to come to you first as a gooner. Poor night for you tonight. 3 points dropped. City too strong. Talk to me.
Stephen, Terry, I'm fed up with this football club. Another missed opportunity. It's just a replay of what happened last season. Everybody remember last season? Brighton, Southampton, Crystal Palace. Opportunity to establish yourself as the top 4 team. We bottle it. These players are pussies. Bottle job pussies. And it's the same players that let us down last season that let us down again tonight. Now,
1 second.
Shut up,
Bro,
Egal.
come
Let
on,
me
bro.
talk. No.
What are you talking about?
No,
No,
you will
no,
get
no.
your opportunity.
Nah, bro.
So shut up.
That's over.
No,
That's out of line.
no.
That's out of
You will
line.
get your
That's out of
opportunity
line.
to talk.
That's out of line. That
How's
is
that
out of line, out of order. You've gone too far. You're talking absolute bullshit. Stop it. Behave, bro. What do you mean pussies? Who the hell you calling pussies?
Pussies.
These guys, they're at the top of the table, one of the youngest teams in the league.
They
Calling them
didn't
pussies.
want it
basically
tonight,
throwing your toys at the
Egal.
prem.
City are the
Ever gonna win.
champions.
You don't believe we were ever going to do
City are the
shit.
champions
That's why
for
you're
the
talking
past
this
4
way.
years.
No.
We had an
Man
opportunity
the hell up.
to beat
Man the
them
hell up.
out
You don't
ground
believe you're
tonight,
going to actually do it.
and we
Man up, bro.
bottled it.
Who you calling pussies? Are you dumb?
We
Who
bottled
the
it,
hell are you calling
Egal.
pussies? These
We
guys have been fighting
bottled
for
it,
all
mate.
year, and one little hiccup, you're out here calling them pussies. Are you crazy, bro?
Stop
What are you
talking
talking
shit,
about?
bro.
Who the hell is
right?
the pussy
We
out here?
bottled it tonight.
Who
We
the hell's the
bottled it
pussy?
tonight.
William Saliba? Who the
We
hell's the
bottled
pussy?
it
Mikel
tonight.
Arteta? Who the hell are you talking about? Fix
We
up, bro.
bottled it.
What kind of fan are you? What kind of fan are you?
Terry,
Out
shut
here
this
calling them
twat up.
pussies after the first
Yeah?
hiccup. What
Shut
the
him
fuck
up.
you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Fix the fuck up.
Terry,
I hate
Terry,
fans like these guys.
shut him
Why
up.
are you guys acting like this? Crying, throwing your toys at the prem. You never believed in the first place. You're embarrassing us. You never believed in the first place. Coming out here calling them pussies. Who the fuck you calling pussies? Oh my God. Who the fuck you calling a pussy, bro? You're basically calling all of us who believe pussies. You're basically calling the whole team who've carried them on our back pussies. Who the fuck you calling pussies? Don't fucking do that again, bro. Act right. You're embarrassing us.
Are you done?
Bradnan, I'm going to go back to you. Finish what you were saying. We'll go to Egal in a minute.
Are you done? Right, now I'll finish what I was saying. What I was actually going to do was go back to the positives of tonight. Now, I called out the fact that I didn't want Jorginho at Arsenal, right? For the first 50 minutes of that game, he was the standout player on the pitch. He was the best player on the pitch. Props to him. Well done to him. Because I can't remember the last time that he played a full 90 minutes for anyone, right? So props to him. But what I mean by pussies, Egal, is we was in that game for the first 50 minutes, yeah? We was the better side. I didn't think we deserved to go 1-0 down. In fact, I actually felt like 1-1 at that point in the game was undeserved for Manchester City. I thought we was the better team. But once again, Krusty the fucking clown, aka Gabriel Magalhaes, comes out again. Because let's be honest, bro, yeah? He got life. He got life. Referee gives Man City a penalty, and he got life because that was a penalty all day long. That was a penalty all day long. And the offside flag is what saved him. VAR saved him. But did he learn from that? No, he didn't. Doing his bozo crap again. Yeah? Tomiyasu, you know, he made a mistake. But again, he's not played a lot of football, so I'll let him off for that one, right? But Eddie Nketiah, 3 chances, 3 big chances missed. And you're telling me that I can't be angry?
Bro, you can be angry. You can be angry, but coming out here, calling the players pussies, on what basis? Did they freaking cower? Were they scared for the 90 minutes? They gave it their fucking all. They messed up. Costly mistakes cost us. At the end of the day, yes, we messed up with the first goal. It was a mistake from Tomiyasu. We shouldn't have put ourselves in that situation. I don't see no cowering in that situation. Number 2, when it came to the second goal, honestly, how the hell did we find ourselves in that situation? We should have done better defending. Defensive mistakes cost us again. We made our own errors. Once again, I don't see anybody cowering. I don't see anyone getting away from a challenge. I don't see anyone going into a shell. You are absolutely out of line, my guy. And then the third goal. For you to say any of those goals were a moment where the players bottled it, the players took themselves out of the situation and they were scared, they were cowering. You are absolutely out of the line. I was absolutely fine until I heard you call these players the word that you called them. You are absolutely out of line, my guy. And no, I'm not speaking to you right now. I'm finishing my sentence.
Well, you see here, right?
I will finish my sentence, then you can speak.
This here is
I will finish my sentence, and then you can speak, my guy. Relax. Relax. No, this is out of control.
This football club comes out with.
You cannot come here. Turn around and say, you cannot come here and then say these guys are what? You don't believe. You never believe.
I never believe.
You are basically jumping ship at the first hurdle.
I'm sat here
you are basically jumping ship at the first hurdle. I am trying to have a conversation here. Go ahead. If you want to speak, go ahead.
I'm going to interject. Egal, what went wrong tonight for you? We know mistakes happen, but what do you think led to these mistakes? Was it the pressure of the title race? You're on this slump at the moment. Did the manager make mistakes? Like what caused problems for you?
First of all, miscommunication on the first pass. He should have just kicked it out. Tomiyasu should have just kicked it out. He should not have done what he did for the first goal. Messed up. From there, we were down 1-0. We had to fight back. Pick your heads up. Martin Odegaard showed he's a leader. He went to Tomiyasu, picked his chin up, and said, "Get your head in this game." And he did that. We got back in the game, 1-1. But Bukayo Saka puts the goal in, gets a penalty. I'm happy. We're 1-1, and we bossed that first half. We were on top of the first half. We let ourselves down with our own errors, conceding that opening goal. Then second half comes, intensity drops. City get into it, and we found ourselves in a situation where we made mistake after mistake. We got lucky with VAR actually working this time, and them drawing the right lines, and then not getting the first second goal counted out. And then the second goal came, and I was like, yo, this game is not going our way. We need to get a second goal. At that point, once we scored the second goal, I thought we were going to go for the draw. We were trying to push. It didn't work out. And finally, Erling Haaland linked up with Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne got the ball, passed it to Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland, moment of magic, got the third goal, and from there the game was done. And I felt like it was the costly mistake from conceding the second goal, and we couldn't just handle it. And the pressure got to us. We conceded the second goal. I wouldn't say we cowered away. I wouldn't call these players out and call them pussies or anything like that. I feel like that's completely out of line. Hence why I lost my shit. I've been so calm after this defeat, because at the end of the day, I know we played this game without two of our best players. No excuses. We still should have won this game. We didn't show enough on the night, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna beat myself about it. We still have what it takes to win this league. We still have what it takes to compete and fight for the rest of the season. And for people like Bradnan coming out here calling them pussies after a title decider like this, it's an absolute disgrace. Bradnan, you're my guy, but you pissed me the hell off right now. And it's not about anything anybody else said. You pissed me off, because fans, we have to stick together. We have to support the team. If we're coming out here calling them pussies after one loss, who the hell are we? How are they gonna fight for us? How are they gonna win anything if we're out here calling them names, cussing them? That is disrespectful. That is disgraceful. And as a fan, I'm offended.
I get you're offended. Is your anger really at Bradnan for saying what he did, or is your anger at not winning in 4 games? And maybe Bradnan's comment was a convenient way for you to kind of trigger that anger.
You know what? Maybe you're right, Terry. But the reality is, I've been seeing this way too much. We've been on the last stream, and I said that there's 3 different types of fans. There's people who somewhat believe and have gotten on the hill. There's people who are in the middle that don't know what to think, and then there's people like me who are fully behind this and believe that we can do it. And I feel like we need to support the team, especially during these tough times. And when we're out here calling them names, cussing them, Bradnan, on what merit? If you know what I call somebody who does that, somebody who absolutely hides away from challenges, someone who doesn't jump when it comes to trying to win a header, someone who doesn't give it their all, someone who, when you leave that pitch, show that they didn't even try. For you to call them this right now, it's as if we're going back to at the beginning of Mikel Arteta's era, when these players were absolute dog shit and they weren't even trying. And today they weren't that. For about 45 minutes, we were the better team. Second half, intensity dropped. We've seen errors. And you know what? The better team won on the day. Let's not come out here and start calling them names, cussing them. You're upset. I get it. You can be upset. Nothing's wrong with that. But you've crossed the line, my guy. You have to understand that. Hence why I'm upset. If anybody else was here that was as passionate as I am and believes that we could do it as much as I do, they would probably call you out. There's probably people in the chat that agree with me to call you out, because it's not a disrespect thing. Me and you are boys. I have your number. I'll call you after this. We're cool. But I'm pissed off at you right now because you can't be calling these players like this. It's absolutely disrespectful.
I understand that. I understand that. But again, I'm going to say this. I think you're projecting your anger towards your team at Bradnan.
That's
personally.
not true.
I think you're angry at Arsenal because you've been someone that's been very, very outspoken and saying that we don't. You basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, if we don't win the league, it's a disgrace from this point, right? You've said words to the effect of we have to win the league from this point. You've said that, right?
Bro, I believe we're gonna win the league.
Cool,
And from the point that we were in, we should keep it up. And right now, we're still an advantage, Arsenal. Even though City are above us in the table based on points difference, we still have a game in hand. We still have to play them another game. We still have a decent run. We can still do it. It's just when we all basically throw our toys out the prem and the fans don't believe, that's where it's like, yo, Terry, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. If people just after a hiccup where we lost against Everton, draw against Sting, now people like this, it's not gonna happen, bro. These guys, we need to pick ourselves up, understand that if we can't handle the pressure, how do you think these guys are gonna handle it? They can feel how we are. These players can feel it. Hence why Xhaka after the game against Brentford said, "We need you guys." Hence why these guys are constantly calling for us. We need you. That's what it is.
I understand that. We are going to speak some Chelsea in a bit, but Brandon, you're back with us. I know you had an internet connection issue there, but you're back with us now. What's your response to that, mate?
Yeah, cool. Egal, you believe we can still win the league? I don't. And that's why you got the reaction that you got from me. And firstly, don't ever talk to me like that again, all right? Because that is unjustified, yeah? If that had have happened in the street, I'd have slapped you. And I ain't even pissing about, yeah? Don't ever think you can embarrass me like that, ever, right? But we'll brush that under the carpet. The reason why I say I don't think we can win the league is because it's all about momentum, right? I believe now that Manchester City have the momentum. Yes, we've got the game in hand, but as I pointed out earlier, we see this last season. We lost 3 games on the bounce. Okay, we haven't lost 3 games on the bounce. We've lost 2 and drew 1. But again, I'm seeing the same pattern as what I saw last season. Do I believe that we can go on and win more games this season than Manchester City for the remainder of it? No, I don't. No, I don't. And tonight was a great opportunity to go 6 points clear, give us a bit of breathing space. In fact, if we go back to Everton, we could have gone 8 points clear. And this is what's so frustrating. And it comes back again to, did Arsenal do enough in January? No, they didn't. Because once again, I was saying, and I know many other fans were saying, we need a striker that offers us something different. Eddie Nketiah had 3 massive opportunities tonight and he didn't put any of them away. A better striker puts them chances away. Granit Xhaka as well. Let me come to him. Because at 2-1, he gets a great opportunity to have a shot from the edge of the box and he doesn't shoot. That's what I meant by pussies. Yeah? Doesn't shoot. How many long-range goals has Granit Xhaka scored for Arsenal? And he's got a great opportunity there to have a shot on goal. I'm not saying he's going to score.
Do you know what I'll say, Brand? Listen, I understand that the choice of words is going to trigger some people, but I understand where you're coming from because I feel like Tomiyasu's mistake. I feel like Gabriel's mistake. I feel like Xhaka was passing brilliantly in the first half. Even there was an opportunity to play either Martinelli in through the middle or somebody else was out on the left-hand side. He didn't. He doesn't do it. And then he kind of like plays some weird half ball and gets tackled. That is choking. Now, I wouldn't maybe use the word pussies. You did, but I kind of knew what you meant. And I kind of think Egal did. Egal seems to have disappeared right now. I feel like with Egal, I think he's very angry at Arsenal for not winning. But
look,
you gave him the perfect excuse to have a go at you.
I get it. I understand it because I feel it myself, right? It's a high intensity game. It's an important game. We've just lost. We all feel our emotions in different ways, right? And I understand that. And obviously, Egal and my opinions differ when it comes to Arsenal. He believes we could still go on and win the league. I don't. I also believe he's the type of fan who, you know, if Arsenal happens to finish in the top 4 and then the football club do their usual crap, their usual PR crap. Oh, well, top 4 was the aim in the first place anyway. He's the type that would lap it up. And I'm not...
This is
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Brendan, this is the one thing I'm saying. Egal is one on the terrace who has come out and said, if we don't win the league, it's terrible from this point.
Well, I hope he sticks to that tell.
And that's what and that's what I want to hear from people is what their view is now, and I want to see what changes, because the reason the Football Terrace exists, the sole reason that I invented this channel, and the first one to ever cover multiple teams at once, the first in the world. I just want to hear fucking opinions. What I'm sick and tired of from fans is political answers. Like, it gets on my tits. We are going to talk Chelsea very soon on the show. I know there's Chelsea fans tuning in as well. Jason's here with us, another Arsenal fan. Now, what are you saying, mate?
Honestly, disappointment. 8 points clear, 4 games ago. We literally blew it away. It's just like, it's a game where I feel like this is one of the biggest games of the Emirates era, like where both teams were actually fighting for the title, and it's just disappointing, honestly. And I feel like the January transfer window has actually made a bigger impact in this game. In terms of, we should have had Thomas Partey. We all know that Thomas Partey is going to get injured any part of the season. Gabriel Jesus, we need a backup striker. But coming into the game, right, Eddie Nketiah is not good enough. To see how many chances he's missed, I don't feel like he's the guy who could actually take us over the line. It's a piss poor performance, and I agree with I agree with what's your name again? Sorry, True Guy on the TV.
Brandon.
Yeah, I agree with them. They're all a bunch of pussies, man. When it mattered, they just blew it. They absolutely blew it. I can't lie. Tommy Asu, what was he doing for the first goal? And Gabriel, he was there. He could have got that tangle. He could have had a penalty, City penalty. It could have been a City penalty. He got away with it. He could have just learned his mistake as well. You know what? And then, bro, it's a piss take. It's just a piss take. And you know what? Fair play to City. Congratulations on City for the Premier League this season. We totally blew it, man. I can't lie. I have no hope in this team because, no Partey for a couple of games. No Jesus. We need to wait for Jesus coming back. I feel like the squad is a little bit thin at the moment. And you know what? Some of these players are just bottle jobs.
Listen, I understand, mate. Listen, I understand. And I think, it's an 8-point gap is kind of fallen away. It's disappointing to see, and you want a response. And I don't even even last year, not winning in 3 games on the bounce deserves criticism. It deserves it more so this year because you're a much better team, and I don't think that shying away from that is wrong. Brandon, sorry, go on.
Yeah, just to add to that point as well. This was at the Emirates as well, and I also said that I thought we could beat City at the Emirates. I thought it'd be more difficult at the Etihad. And Mikel Arteta said in his press conference he wanted the crowd to be like the 12th man. And I felt like our we got behind him like he wanted us to get behind. We did everything we possibly could to get this team over the line. And I don't know, bro. It's just disappointing. It really is.
Fair play to the fans, though. 10 out of 10. Literally, sitting from home, I can hear the fans actually, pumping their team throughout the season. Now, big up the fans. And also, I just wanted to say, it's not good enough at the moment. I feel like Mikel Arteta making his subs late as well. It kind of I feel like Martinelli should have been substituted earlier this season. I feel like, I don't know what's wrong with Martinelli these days over the last few games after the World Cup. But I feel like Trossard should be starting for the next game against Villa. But we need to kick on. Honestly, something needs to change in that team. I feel like something needs to be changed because teams like Everton and Brentford are finding us out. So
I hear that the change is needed. We're gonna go through some of these super chats. We're gonna have a bit of a chat about Chelsea as well as Arsenal with you all. This says, with fans like these, why would we need rivals? Is what David has got to say. This says, on this form, Arsenal do not beat City and also win more games than City from here on out. Arteta stuck in his ways. Arsenal moving the ball too slowly. The scariest thing is your next game, because if you drop points in your next game and Manchester United win, that's when I think you start to see people even the people that are pro Arteta will start to get angry. If you don't win, say Villa beat you at the weekend and Man United win, and they're suddenly 2 points behind you, that is really when the pressure builds up, because I swear at some point you were about 15 points ahead of Man United.
That's not inconceivable either, Terry. We've got to remember Unai Emery is Aston Villa's manager, and a couple of seasons ago in the Europa League, he had Arteta's pants down with Villarreal, so it's not inconceivable.
It's certainly going to be an interesting one. Orchie here says Brandon is 100% right, and Egal is so wrong. After one loss, 10 days ago, you could be 8 points clear, then lose to Everton, a draw with Brentford. Arsenal bottled it last year too. Start of the choke is what Orchie's got to say. Arsenal Brandon supporters are not true supporters. So saying you're a clown, Brandon.
Okay, but that's your opinion. I support my team in a different way to other people. Like I say, we'll lap up this top 4 shit. I'm not bothered about that. We're in a title race. We didn't do enough in January to get ourselves over the line, and that's the reality of it.
I hear that. Egal went bolder than Pep during that rant, is what Lucas says here. Arsenal haven't won a game since the FA Cup. It's peak, is what Fran says. From Chelsea's performance today, I believe we can turn the second leg around, but we have to take our chances, and glad Mount is out of the second leg. Also, I believe Potter broke the record for most claps in a game. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to you guys in a little bit. United are coming. Beware is what OK has got to say. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I've such a bad day today. First, I got a 2-1 in machine learning exam. Now Chelsea's game, Potter out. Yeah, anything less than 2-1's bad, isn't it? It could be, yeah. It's 2-1. Yeah, you got to get one. I've heard that's bad. I don't know. I didn't go uni. I'm thick. Egal, you are embarrassing, is what Cyborg Ninja says here. Baz1 says Egal is right. Most of these players are kids. Respect your team. Thanks, Egal, for making Chelsea forget that we lost. Is what C says. Facts from Egal is what Handy's got to say. You guys are no longer youngsters, J5 and Trossard. It's funny. I think Egal muted. I'd like to know what he thinks. We obviously heard what he thought. Bottle merchants, man agent, Jorginho, the legend doing bits is what Arman's got to say. All I'm hearing is excuses from Egal is what Wes has got to say. Everton broke Arsenal is what Enzo Boys, one of our members, has said. Bottom left, not an Arsenal fan, and now rant away. We know Brandon's an Arsenal fan. Terry, the psychologist. I'm not a psychologist, of course. I think Egal was angry with his team tonight. I've done it in my life. Men do this a lot. Back in the, I don't know if it's like this for you youngsters when you're out, but you go out in a bad mood, and then some bloke will give you a funny look, and you're not really angry at the funny look, but you just need someone to take your anger out on. So you go and smack him in the mouth. That's how most men get into fights. I'm not angry at the person I'm fighting. I'm angry at my missus, or at a fight with my brother, and you take it out on the wrong person. That's kind of what I think happened there. Haaland, moment of magic, 2 touches in the box to score. Call it what it is. Poor defending. Yeah. TFT and chill. For real, though. Egal, you owe Brandon an apology. I'm sure that will come. The emotions are high, and we need to back the team, is what Dan T has got to say. Egal, you are a disgrace. I agree with Brendan. Just that it has nothing to do with just the players. However, we would have won with Felix on the pitch. And I suppose that's the issue here for a lot of Arsenal fans. It will be if we'd have gone and actually landed our number 1 targets in January, would we have won these last 3 games? Maybe.
I think that's the big question.
That is the big question, isn't it?
That's going to be the big question. Because I said it in the when we did the January transfer window, the deadline day. Jorginho, he's a decent player. He's got a lot of experience, but is he the guy that you really want? Is Caicedo the guy that you really want? Because I said if you bought Caicedo, I think the league is guaranteed for Arsenal, because he is a very similar player to Partey, and he's very combative, which is someone that you really lack if Partey's out injured. So I think it does come back to the January transfer window. But like we said it last season, when you missed out on Vlahovic or even Isak, will it happen again for Arsenal? Who knows, man? Who knows?
We don't have no ambition from the owners, from the owners to the board. We don't have no ambition. Honestly, we should have had Caicedo on the board, João Felix, Mudryk. We should have got our first class targets, but I want him gone. I'm not gonna lie, I want him gone. It's not good enough. Always.
I can understand that. This here says, sorry, I already read this one out. That's his opinion. Who are you to say otherwise? I think that's defending Brandon, the way it reads. From Chelsea's performance today, I believe. Oh, sorry, I've already read this one out. I think I believe we can turn it around in the second half, but we have to take our chances. And I'm glad Mount is out of the second leg. Yeah, I did read that one. I don't know why it's still there. Sorry, my bad. Boomaguna says Tomiyasu is top quality right back. What you say there? What you saw there is the effect of being on the sideline for months and being thrown into the most important moment of the season.
I'm
And,
not
in
sure.
fairness, well, Brandon said that though. Brandon actually said that. If he was listening to, I'm not saying
be-
Boomer didn't, but that's what Brandon said.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Tel, right, I can understand why Arteta thought about putting Tomiyasu in instead of Ben White, because obviously Ben White's been a bit poor over the last couple of weeks. Tomiyasu's more defensive minded. It's probably to deal with Jack Grealish, but I would also throw out the argument there: did Arteta overthink this game? Because we've been playing. I know Ben White's had a couple of poor weeks. Martinelli has as well. But if we play the way that we want to play, Ben White's been our number one choice right back. It didn't make no sense why he changed that position. But then, Martinelli, who has also been poor for the last few weeks, and Trossard's been coming in and doing a job. I don't understand why you wouldn't start Trossard in this game if you're going to change it up with Ben White. It just makes no sense.
Totally get that. If MC guilty, how much impact justifies this season? What if MC guilty? I don't know what that means.
Man City.
If Man City,
Man
City are guilty, yeah. Well, yeah. Look, if that happens this season, then we'll talk about it. On this form, can Arsenal drop outside the top four? I mean, if this form continues, if they don't win another game, then yes, but they'll make top four, Arsenal, no doubt. Yeah. So, Terry, should we give the Premier League to Arsenal after 19 games since you hyped them up so much in the mud? No, I didn't say Arsenal had already won the league, did I? I said I think they'll go on to win it. So, what are you now saying, Bill? Like, think about what you're saying logically. I can't make predictions unless you agree with them. Like, that means no one can make predictions ever again? Come on now, bruv. No one said, given the title, they're definitely, like, I said I think they'll win it. But what I didn't say is they'll win it, they'll run away with it. I've never once, find me a stream where I said there's no chance Man City win it. You may hear me say, if City don't turn their form around, I don't think they can win it. But you never hear me write City off completely. Nice try, Namil. I'll drop around later to make you guys feel better. Brandon is what Young. I'm not going to read that out. I've got to say that's quite a funny name. Arsenal's next 4 games: Villa, Leicester, Everton, Bournemouth. Time for the players to show what they are made of. 12 points are a must. I think 12 points are a must from those games. Mm-hmm. Brendan, are Arsenal predicted to start? Really, pussies. Really,
I think that what he means by that is what was my prediction for Arsenal at the start of the season. In the start of the season, I don't think anyone would predict Arsenal to be in this position. No. But the point that everyone's trying to make, and I try to make, is now that we were in that position, and we've just had a transfer window in order to strengthen our position, there is no reason why we should not go on to win that league. And unfortunately, we haven't done enough. I don't feel we're on a bad patch of form, which, the players' mentality showed tonight for me, because you got to have proper mentality to go into that game and beat Manchester City. I mean, it could have a detrimental effect on our season either way, to be fair, And I know it's still in our hands. I know we still got a game in hand, but I just don't believe that we can win more games this season than Manchester City. Let's be real, right? If you look at Arsenal's fixture list, we still got to play Liverpool at Anfield. Now, Liverpool are nowhere near the same Liverpool. Liverpool been horrendously poor this season. But you're forgetting, it's Anfield. We don't do well at Anfield. We've got to play Chelsea.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It's going to be a mad run, and it really, really is. We'll get through these super chats. I do want to speak Chelsea. Chelsea's new coach, please hearten stress levels too high. We are coming hard from behind, breathing down your neck, Egal. How does it feel? Chin up, Gooners. Only one game. Still rather you lot than City. Yeah, I'm not happy because it means a three-peat might happen. Egal's reaction is what happens when you realize you're not winning the league. Definitely owes Brandon an apology. Laddie here says Chelsea played decent. It's not over though. Man City might now have the bit between their teeth and run with it. And this here from Jacob says, I don't think Arsenal will win it. They choke all the time. On Chelsea, boys. Jason, thank you for coming on. I'm going to bring Winter Surfer on, talking a bit of Chelsea now. Cheers, Jason. Take care, mate. Thank you very much.
I've got to jump off now.
All right, cheers, Bran. Thanks, mate. I
All right,
appreciate it, bro. Chelsea obviously did well tonight in terms of their play, but they lose. What are you saying, David?
I can't. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. I'm strapped in for the ride. The Todd B experience. We're at an interesting point, and that's all I can say. Like I really miss Thomas Tuchel. I really do miss those days. They were good days. But yeah, no, the performance was. This is what's really confusing me because the performance wasn't bad, but is that a good thing for Graham Potter? Is that a bad thing for Graham Potter? Because if the performance is good and we're still not getting results, are you just not good enough to turn the screw and make us finish our chances? Or is it you're a bit unlucky and the results will come, just give it a bit of time? This is the issue that I think most Chelsea fans are kind of dealing with right now. And if you're one of the people that believes, our luck will come good at some point, you're like, okay, let's just give Potter his time, see what happens right off the season, whatever. However, if you're of the opinion, we're playing well, we keep losing, we've won 2 games in the last 14, get him gone, you're going to think he's just not a good enough manager. And right now, it's causing a massive divide in the fan base. And it's just causing issues. And I'm really struggling right now to see where it does come good. Because right now, we're just missing, well, I'd say we're missing only a striker, but we're missing a striker. We're also missing another competent winger. It looks like we're missing another midfielder. So there are still holes in the squad, and this is my thing of not splashing your money so much in one position, but that's for another day. The point is, played well, didn't win, and we keep losing. Either it's got to change soon, or fans will just run out of patience.
No, the wins have definitely got to come for him. But again, I didn't watch in depth. It's hard watching 2 games anyway. I didn't watch the last half an hour in depth. But the amount of chances you had tonight, like from your point of view, Matt, are you confident going into the second leg?
If he makes the right decisions, yes. Because Terry, you're exactly right. We're not scoring chances. Why aren't we scoring chances? Because we have a creative player up front. Our manager dropped our top UCL goal scorer and kicked him out of the team, Aubameyang. And fine, you don't want Aubameyang? Start that shit for Fana. Because Havertz, don't get me wrong, I think Havertz did okay today, but it wasn't enough. I think he was creative-wise, he was actually okay, but when it came to finishing chances, no one could do it. So you're coming in the next leg, who's going to finish those chances? Because I can't sit here and tell you. Our only good player today was Felix. It's Felix FC. That guy is an absolute beast. He creates, he got so unlucky hitting the crossbar a couple of times. So that's the only threat that we have is Felix. You got Mudryk, who was kind of a little bit of a threat. Reece James. The rest need to just step up. Today, I think Enzo did okay. I'm not going to blame him on that transition goal. I mean, there's nothing he can really do. Maybe put in a tackle here and there, but I'm not going to blame him, like Chelsea fans are doing. But I think it wasn't that good. But I think it kind of shows that we need more of a defensive midfielder next to him so we can let him push up the field more. Because I think he's not really a defensive guy. He's more of an attacking guy. And we saw that. He had 3-4 shots on target. It wasn't the best of shots, but he had a shot on target, especially in that last minute when he went top right and it was a good save by the keeper. So we know he has it in him in the top right corner. He can get one in there. So there were some positives to this game. I'm not going to come out and thrash it, on the team. I think Koulibaly stepped up today. I think he did well. Silva obviously always did well. Reece James is finally back. But it's just the same shit that we can never just finish our dinner. And it comes to the manager. And I always look at it. I've said to her, this guy is far from the guy. Graham Potter will never win us a Champions League. He'll never win us a Premier League. So I'm never going to sit here and say that we will win trophies with this guy here because I just don't see it. He's not a world class manager. He's not a manager that I see will take us to the next level. So, and especially today, when his selection just doesn't make sense, and that selection of starting Havertz as a striker to me doesn't make sense. I think it's one of the most basic things that Havertz is starting week in week out when he's not a striker. I think he had a decent game, as I said, in creative point, but he's not finishing his chances. But he's not supposed to finish his chances. He's not a striker. So I just don't understand what the manager's doing. Coming next game, Terry, I am confident. But to score 2 goals, who scores that 2 goals? Felix, for me, is our only threat. But can Felix be a single-man person? No, because he couldn't do it today. He needs support. So I'm actually really nervous for next time to see how that happens. I think that's in a couple of weeks, so we'll see what happens there. But I'll be honest, I'm not feeling that confident, to be honest with you. Hopefully that changes, because we've exactly a month ago we bet Crystal Palace, exactly a month ago, and I came here at Crystal Palace. I said it's still not looking good. All Chelsea were getting their hopes up, and I said this is not a win we should be celebrating, because it's not enough, and we've been going downhill since then. And when are our players going to gel? When are our players going to kind of turn on and switch on and be like, we lost to Dortmund? I'm sorry, but Dortmund will not be top 10 in the Premier League. They will not be top 10 in the Premier League. They are not a good team. They are not a good team.
They will.
AC Milan are better than Dortmund. Right? You smash Milan. Right? You come and you smash Dortmund second. Dortmund are not a good team. They're playing the same league for 20 years and they haven't won in 10 years. I'm sorry. Dortmund are not a good team. AC Milan are better than them. We should be thrashing Dortmund.
They weren't great.
No, Dortmund better. I'm sorry. They're not a top level team. They're not a top level team. We should be beating them. We should be so excited for us to beat them. I'm sorry. Go on.
I'm gonna go to some super chats here before speaking to the other boys. This here says, I already read that one. Egal, your humble pie. Arrogance never prevails. DR says low key feel Egal to be honest. Players will feed off the bad energy. Collapse may begin. Felix, another victim of our striker curse. So weird right now. I hear that. Where was the same? I can't say that word. So, tenacity that Arsenal showed versus United. Well, I don't know. I wish they played like the way Arsenal have been in the last 3 or 4. You know, sometimes timing when you play a team, like the way Arsenal have been in these last few games. I wish that's the Arsenal Man United face. Like we'd have beaten them. You know, it's the way it is. I feel for Potter. He never had to deal with players with egos, and on this much money, needs to grow some balls. I just don't think that he is the guy. That's what Chloe says. Do you agree? Do you agree with that, Winter Surfer? Do you feel like this is you just maybe, because I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans say this online? We need a manager with more balls, with more personality, that's going to stand up to these individuals. Do you think that's true? What Chloe Jenkins has said here.
I'm just really I don't know. I'm disappointed with the result, obviously, but today I don't think there was anything really that wrong apart from the finishing. That was it, and that's been a problem of ours for like 5-6 years. That was it. I mean, if you told me that game would have ended 2-2 tonight, I would have believed you. It was a very open game. I mean, we had one cleared off the line. We hit the bar. João Felix hit another shot that went over. They had a couple of chances. I mean, there's not much more that he could have done tonight, Potter. I mean, anyone coming out and saying Potter out after this game, it's just really, you're never going to get them to change their minds. It is what's going to kill us. By the way, it was Wesley Fofana on the bench, not the striker Fofana, because that Fofana can't be registered for the UCL squad. So if you look at the actual bench, his options are very limited of what he could do for game changes. I would have liked to see Carney maybe come on and give him more minutes, but it was literally, that was it. It was just literally the finish, the most important part of the game, the finishing, that let us down. I do think it's hard. I do, though. The one thing I will say is that dropping Aubameyang from the squad and not giving you that option when you've only got really Kai Havertz in there is an issue, because I believe that João Felix will work better with an actual number 9 or something like that, because Kai likes to drift off. But other than that, I think we can beat them in the second leg. We've got more players coming back. It's 3 weeks. So, yeah, I'm disappointed with the result, but the performance was far better than it has been recently. Maybe that's how far we sunk, but I'm not that too disappointed in the performance or Potter's performance as well. I hope everyone was happy that he was waving his arms a bit during on the sidelines. So, it's all good.
I get that. I mean, Cheers, do you agree with the boys? I mean, I always find first leg games, unless you're battered, are so hard to assess because the game ain't over. It's half time essentially. But did you see improvements tonight? Or are you still worried about the lack of converting chances?
Yeah, I think all the Chelsea fans have been very honest. We've seen gradual improvement from a few weeks ago. I think it was the Fulham game, and we've slowly seen our team play a bit better, a bit more transitional football. Today was like Server saying, it wasn't a perfect match, but in terms of the defense, I can't really put a foot wrong. James and Shaw still need to get up to fitness, so cool. The midfield, I don't know if you guys spoke about Ruben. We had a mad game. He played fantastic the whole game. Progressing the ball, making the right decisions.
Enzo, like Dave was saying, needs to be more at the pitch because he's too deep. We need that 6 in the team ASAP. The attack, Terry, is the same as always. The same. I've watched that game, like I said last week. I went to the West Ham game, by the way. I watched that right by the pitch. The same stuff. The other day when we won on the terrace with me, Matt, and David, the same. It's the same. It's just the attack. They can't score a goal, and it ruins it. Because in football, you can have all the possession, but if you don't kill the game off, you're still susceptible to a loss or a draw. And that's what's happening every single week. So how can the flipping fans keep saying Potter out? What is Potter supposed to do today when Felix is doing what he did? It's not his fault, but I'm just saying, like, what's he supposed to do? We're not conceding goals. We're actually creating opportunities. So what more can he actually have done? I'm actually trying to keep it. I'm like, cool.
Maybe Chesney, I'm sorry, but you need to have a striker in the team. I'm sorry, I don't care if it's about me. You need to have a striker in the team. And I'm not saying Potter's the reason for the loss, but I'm saying, why isn't there a striker in the team? Why?
I can answer your question very easily. Because Aubameyang shouldn't have been there in the first place. He's never going to use him. He's not going to be there next season. So if it's a short-term loss we have to take and play Havertz up there, who might be here, who's still a young player we could sell on, it is where it is. If Fafana can't get registered, that's just unlucky for him. So we actually don't have any of number 9s. If Havertz, for example, if Aubameyang was a younger guy who was just out of form, then we would all be upset because we could see he's got potential. The guy's like 33, shouldn't have been here in the first place, and was a panic buy in summer. So that obviously makes sense. It's unfortunate.
Why can't we just play for half a season? What's his potential? I don't need potential. Just come in, score me a goal, and then leave next week. I don't care. Just come in two, 3 games.
Matt, it's not that hard. What are we trying to do right now?
If you look at, sorry, Chez, if you look at the players we did register and took out, and the players we took out. So we registered Enzo, who of course we were going to register because we all know desperately we need a midfielder. We brought in Mudryk because we all desperately know we need a winger. And now you're left with Felix on loan or Aubameyang, right? We need to, let's be honest, after watching Felix for about 3 games, we all know how good he is, and we probably all want to keep him. To keep Felix on side and wanting to come to Chelsea, he's going to have to play as many games as possible. To even make the 10 million euro loan fee anything worth it, he's got to play as many games as possible.
Of course.
So of course he was going to go in the team like above Aubameyang. And yes, okay, it may mean we don't have a striker to help us in these situations. But we won the Champions League without a recognised striker. We've done quite a lot without a recognised striker. Man City have done quite a lot without a recognised striker. I don't think us not having a recognised striker is actually the biggest problem. Our biggest problem is our players get head rush and don't know how to finish. Because regardless of whether you're a centre-back or you're a right-back or you're a midfielder, Koulibaly should score his chance. Regardless of what position you play, João Felix should score his chances that hit the post. You just should.
But David, what I would say is,
what position you play, you just got to do it. And I know strikers do it at a higher rate, but it just has to happen.
What I would say in tandem with your point is kind of, it goes with we need a striker then. Because what happens with strikers is, there is a reason why they're strikers, because they're in the split second, they're like the most composure in it. They're able to like put the ball in back in net, which is the hardest thing to do in football, players say. So because of the fact we don't have a striker, I think it inadvertently means there's more pressure on like players to score, which means they rushed. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying that it could be a reason. That's why.
Oh no, I guess I think it's more of like maybe just saying to Kai Havertz, stay a bit closer to João Felix. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, he drifted a bit too much in the first half, especially. Just to add an option on there to feed off to, everyone says he's a good header or something like that, but just maybe just as a target man or something like that, just to feed off, say, this is what you're doing. I know you like to do this, but for this team, I want you to do this. Do you know what I mean? Because we have that player in João Felix who can do that. And you saw João Felix, he was collecting the ball. He's a better dribbler. He's a better passer. He's a better creator. But if you have someone who's drifting off too far like that, you don't always have that option. That's why maybe Aubameyang it's done now. To keep harping on about it's done. You can't do anything about it. But just a different change, And like you said, I
think once you start scoring, though, guys, I think the goals, will start to come. Anthony here says, first, what man slaps a guy? Second, don't call your team pussies. I talked about Bradnan. Sorry, he's gone now. Sorry about that. Don't get too upset, Arsenal fans. City will get stripped of their titles anyway. Take the game for what it is. Improvement. It's frustrating, but we still have holes. But we are playing better. If this continues, it's only time. Victor here says, what I saw from Arteta's Arsenal today is a clear fact that Chelsea should sack Potter. Klopp or Mourinho couldn't throw away 8-point leads like that. Well, Klopp did 2 years ago, to be fair, against the same City team. I'm a Chelsea fan. I think I've done it twice to Liverpool, maybe once.
Let's move on.
I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'm convinced this is an imposter. I've been Potter out. Come on now. He's not at fault for finishing. He plays a part in the good in the good job today, is what Aram says. And Manja says everyone needs to chill out. United are coming. Lol. Well, we're already above Chelsea, so we ain't got to worry about them right now. But we'll see. Listen, I'm not even. Do you know one of the reasons why I'm not gloating about nothing tonight, Matty? We play Barcelona away from home tomorrow night, and we could be humbled. And that's the problem with a lot of football fans. So, like, I didn't even say this earlier in the stream earlier about Thomas Partey, but I was sitting there and I was like, the amount of Arsenal fans that I saw celebrating Casemiro being out. Now, I know Casemiro didn't get injured. I then saw a lot of Arsenal fans celebrating when Eriksen got injured. You're ruined. You're in the mud. That's why I never laugh. The reason I don't laugh at players being injured, one, laughing at people being hurt isn't kind of nice. But the reason I never do it is I never want to tempt the gods into injuring one of my players. That's what annoys me about a lot of modern day young person's banter. People think you're the banter police. No, I just don't understand why your father hasn't taught you about sod's law and about fate and about bad luck, and how if you kind of laugh at other people's bad luck, often you receive the same bad luck yourself. It's crazy to me. Partey looked okay. Okay, I'm not going to read that one out there, Casey. I'm not reading that one out. Channel can get in trouble for that, so I'm not going to do it. Listen, I want to thank all of you boys for coming on and having your say. Obviously, the Arsenal lot that came on for the beginning of the show. Thank you to Top Kicks 23 for sponsoring us again tonight. Make sure you've got the app downloaded. My team did all right in the end. Benfica got me through, but it's been quite a low-scoring first round of games. We need some more goals in my fantasy team, so make sure you all get that downloaded right now. We're back tomorrow with more content, including, of course, match reactions to Man United versus Barcelona. Until next, I'm very much looking forward to the fan channel review in the morning. I can't wait to get up and record that. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again.